you won't be on.
Swear and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, why not? No one knows who's sitting here anyway.
So you guys got the doors on, I'm still procrastinating getting mine out of the storage shed, so.
No, that's fine.
Won't be long.
I know. Whether or not we want to, it's here.
My wife gets excited. She'll let us mow.
She let him move for me.
She probably would.
I'll pay for the gas. I'll even give her a mower, I don't care. Hey Dave, what do you know today?
Another day.
There you go.
Are you? Figure that out. Oh, say, nice. Where'd you go?
$44.18 in Dubai,
Oh, wow.
and $26.37 in Bali.
Say. Yeah, really, thanks for letting us come
Yeah,
along
I
with
thought
you.
before the site happened.
Oh, she's.
I'm trying to think when the last time I left city limits. But it's okay. That's what makes America great.
That's
How's
right.
the mess on the window coming out?
I try to stay out of, I stay far away from that as I can.
Sounds like a bit.
I don't know, Ann.
People always ask me,
what,
what's going on? I actually haven't went to one meeting. I don't know.
Well, it's not, but if we say nobody else shows up, I'm gonna vote we cancel the meeting.
We have three, so, but we can discuss it. We're not making any decisions tonight.
Well, no, hey. So the meeting is called, where we can't discuss it.
Did you guys go to your house this year?
All right, let's call the meeting to order.
They went the first day and then they
Yeah,
went the
you
second
can
episode.
just-
Didn't get any. I had to move stuff.
Let's see.
That's it, that's your.
Approve
That's
the
more
agenda.
Maybe all you need is one.
Could be a chance I could get a copy of it.
Nobody got it printed?
It was never sent to me, so.
Do you have it, Wes?
I'll pull it out. They emailed it out to you.
I mean, there's not much on it.
That's what we might have.
You're right.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Nicole? Do I have a second?
Can she make that motion when she's the one that created the agenda?
Yes. I don't know why not.
I don't know, just check.
Is there a problem with that?
Is it a workshop agenda?
It's a workshop, I mean, it's, anybody can. Second,
I will second the motion.
Dewey. All right, we're gonna discuss 26 budget items. I'd like to get through this relatively quickly because some aren't here that probably would have some input, but I think, we got some guys here that are gonna have input, right, Dave? No? Wages is the first thing in my book. And I know last time we talked about putting 5% in the budget and deciding later exactly how much we were going to give them, but doing the 5% in the budget would, give us a little bit of cushion if we need it. we have any revenue reports? Okay.
Tonight is just, all we have to approve is what we are spending on property taxes. So that's the accounts that you have in front of you, is what is property taxes. The state does not care the revenue, the state cares what we spend on property taxes.
We care what the revenue is.
And we
because
can bring
we-
that up later, but
And may I finish?
I don't know, can you?
Children,
Can we please just be professional? I think it needs to be said. We need to be done. Everyone needs to be professional. Everyone up here has made a statement about being professional. Can we please get through this? We all need to go do other things. Get through the numbers. She asked you a question, answer the question. All attitude can be taken out of everybody's statements tonight. Just please be professional and work through this together.
All in favor of.
Did I not do that? All in favor of approving the agenda? You are correct. Motion carried. My concern is knowing what our revenue is going to be so that we don't over budget our expenses. That's all I'm asking. Police, I think we went over pretty good the last time. Fire department, I thought we said needed to be under 100, is that correct?
Without the capital improvement lines. So.
Without the capital improvement.
Without capital equipment lines. So the last.
So that works.
Fine.
So that
That's
works.
nice.
And that 5,200, I just haven't moved yet, but that's gonna go into a different group. Do you want me to leave that amount, or is just approved to be in there, and we didn't put a dollar amount, so I don't know which one.
We didn't have a dollar amount attached to the resolution, so that the resolution could stand no matter what. But for this year, budgeting purposes, 5,200 is what we know is, if they get the application, that would be the maximum, well, that would be the minimum of our contribution. So we need to still have the discussion in the workshop as to, is that what we wanna set aside, do we wanna contribute more? That discussion still needs to be had in this budget workshop, but that would be the minimum that we would be responsible for.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
So is there more to discuss on that? I mean, what?
I mean, I guess, like, if everyone is fine with this amount, we can leave it at that amount. If anyone feels strongly that we should give more, there's that, but,
So then we update
And
the
that is-
resolution.
what line item is that under?
Resolution is
yeah,
amended.
the resolution doesn't state a dollar amount. It states that it's per whatever the LoSAP arrangement is. So that dollar amount can remain a discussion point every year that during budgeting.
Okay.
What was your question, do you say?
Well, is there a line item for what we're just talking about?
So right now it's under the dues and memberships in the fire
Okay,
department.
okay, that's where I can only find 200.
Yep. But it will get moved
Yeah.
to a retirement account that
Yeah.
is specified.
Yeah, yeah.
6142 of some sort.
Is there any more discussion? We can't make any decisions, but are there any more discussions on that? Animal control is next. $2,500. We've never put anything in there before that I know of, but they are asking for that.
They might be asking, they're kind of asking for a little more, but I mean, I heard 2,500 at first.
And I think going, my personal opinion, and I don't have a vote, that 2,500 to start with
I was
would
gonna
be
say,
the way to go.
you don't, cause it's, well, if nobody has any dogs or cats around the woods, you might not spend 2,500. so
Right.
There's no reason to have a lot of money sitting there that we don't need.
Airport's pretty well cut and dried, they do their own thing. Garbage. Anything stand out in garbage that needs to be discussed? These were the 5%, weren't they?
Dave, do you wanna chime in on any big projects for garbage?
I don't think of any right now, unless you wanna build a new building.
Yes.
Well, I would love to build a new building for garbage, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
We've got plenty that wanna tear them down, I can tell you that.
I know that.
But,
And I get it. Or if we had another place to go, you know, for a different building somewhere else, but I don't think we have that. So,
might have to throw some money into the building we got, just to get it by.
We'll look at that swap grant.
do we have a capital line for,
Capital improvements.
6727, the back of page 2
Okay.
there. I put 10 in because that's that grant. If we spend 10,000 or more, that grant pays us 10. So we know 10 could be covered if we come up with something to support the building that's there, if that's the route we take.
so technically though, if we get the grant for 10, doesn't that, having this in there could give us up to 20 to spend, so, you know,
And we don't need anything like new garbage trucks, new skid loader, none of that.
Skid loader's down, getting down.
That-
The skid loader's getting pretty old too.
That's what I mean, it was,
Go hydrovac.
Yeah, you can always get a new skid loader.
well, yeah, but I
We
mean,
could
that's
always
just,
upgrade, maybe
Yeah.
not new, but.
yes, but
Yep, that could go in there too.
the truck is pretty new though, right?
The 3 trucks we have are really good, pretty good trucks yet, so.
They're all 21s. And the 94.
that old pickup they have,
The 94.
that needs to go down the road.
Oh, yeah. I drove it across town, also. But they don't leave town, I mean.
No,
There's
but
no way it could leave town.
It needs to be,
We tried to
Put on that option.
oh, yeah, you put it on there. You don't-
we
If
tried
you
to
sold it with
retire.
a Tommy lift on it, that would be the only good thing about it.
The Tommy lift doesn't
You're not listening.
work. Oh, I hear ya.
That would be scrap metal, then the weight wise, whatever.
True.
That would be the only enhancement, and it's buyer beware. But anyway, enough of that.
Would that be enough for garbage, do you think, Dave?
I think so.
Okay. So I think garbage looks good myself. I've got, this is hotel motel expense.
Okay.
Is it 18 of this that's going into the parks? Okay. And 5K for places.
I'm waiting to hear that should be done here pretty quick. So that could actually come out of the budget we're in now, so that would free up about that much next year.
My question is there anyone else in line that's wanting that 5K for facade
Not that we've been told.
told about?
I know there's someone looking for a sign, but it's gonna be a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I know about.
So, hotel motel looks good.
Okay.
Library's pretty much on their own too, correct?
Yep.
Parks, are they pretty much on their own? Do they,
As long as we all communicate, they do have a couple CDs out there, you know, and if we go with the TIF route, you know, that'll involve City Hall, of course. But as far as what they wanna spend it on, yeah, they'd have to bring it to us, I would think.
Can we go back to the library real quick? The note we had last time about the wages.
Yep.
That all got evened out?
Yep.
Okay. Cause I saw that the top line, the regular salary was a little higher, but the part-time seemed significantly lower, so I just wanna make sure those
Yep, they
were
get adjusted.
even. Okay.
Yep.
parks stand out to anybody?
The heater's on the way, they're starting on the pipes. I got another estimate for the floor. So all that'll happen this fall will be the roof. Everything else will happen before season.
Remind me, so the pool, at one point they had their own budget, right? Like
They do,
year.
they're $499.
Okay,
Yep.
so,
Sorry, yeah.
so
I
is
think
heater coming out of, like, is pool upgrades coming out of parks or coming out of pool?
Pool,
Okay.
Yep, I jumped.
The
Sorry.
question then is, where are we gonna put the splash spray water spray line?
It's gonna get its
I
own.
couldn't remember which one it was, sorry.
It's gonna get.
I couldn't remember which words
So,
went with what there.
Pool is gonna get changed, and then water spray is gonna be right next to it. But it takes a little bit to do that.
So say that again, so the spray is going in the pool department?
No,
It'll
just
have
let-
its own
Yeah,
department?
Have its
it'll
own-
have its
okay.
own. With just expense.
Okay.
Anything else in parks that sticks out or questions?
We do need to put West Shelter House. That'll be something we come back to. And,
Greg comes to me.
yeah, I'm just saying, I need it on my sheet.
Oh, last time there was a 60K CD for use, what was that about?
If they want to use it, they do have a 60,000
Okay.
CD.
That's parks.
Yes.
Okay.
Has this been run by them, you know? Have they seen these numbers at all, Parks
Not
Board?
that I know of, no. They haven't had a meeting in 6 years, so.
They met a couple weeks ago.
Well, I know, but I'm saying
Oh.
not like this.
I think they're meeting, I think they decided at that meeting to
They're meeting tomorrow.
meet regularly now.
Can we get a copy of this then? Sure. Please. Rec, what's that encompassing?
It usually, up to this point, has been paying for the referees
Oh, that's
for the games. That comes out of that first 2,000 up there.
right.
They've talked about maybe doing a couple of things. That 2,200 and 65.99, that will help with the grant. We got a grant for 2 of the dugout roofs. And so that'll help with the part of the grant we didn't get. Will come out of that 2,200 right there.
So the rec department budget, is that also under the jurisdiction of parks then, or who, like,
It's usually, it just comes to me written on a piece of paper at the end of the season,
Okay.
so I don't. That's how it used to be, cause then Brandy was on the soccer, so it just all.
And the Heinz Center, are, what, go back.
Recreation, okay?
Yep.
As I've been looking through all of these, I have no idea what tort liability insurance is, okay?
Okay.
But so far, there's been money budgeted for everybody.
Yep.
There's been 0 taken out for everybody. Now we'll say we're using this, and I see $250.
It comes out typically in April, I'm assuming,
Yep.
for our insurance. It's our liability insurance.
And our.
But, I mean, as of year to date, shouldn't there be, from last year, shouldn't there be an expenditure in each account?
it'd be
No,
this
This is
month would
next,
come out?
Yeah.
So it's within this fiscal year, it's,
Okay, okay, just wondering.
it's coming.
Thank you for the clarification.
It's coming, and it's a big one.
Moving on. Heinz Center. I know we don't have a board for them anymore. I don't know what to say. But we still have to maintain the Heinz Center, we still have to do all that. because we are going to be able to rent it out, correct? Is that enough?
Those are my two questions are is like, obviously, the telephone, there's been something taken out of that for 2 years, so do we need to have,
And it shouldn't have been, they don't have a phone over there.
okay,
Oh, they don't, okay.
They have Wi-Fi, so that's probably what came out.
so do we need to do
They do have
Oh.
Wi-Fi.
a couple hundred in that line?
It's, they're piggybacked on City Hall, so it's like 21. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's not much.
And then, again, looking at 2 years ago and last year for the miscellaneous, those seem to be fairly high.
That was to cover the Meals on Wheels,
Oh, okay.
is why that was.
And I must say, the, program you have now is wildly successful. I can't hear enough good about that, so.
Thank you. It's been very good.
It has been awesome.
Do we have like a cleaning person to take care of the building?
You're looking at her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there should be something to put in there for maintenance or, you know, for that.
If we would decide, we could maybe use the lady that does City Hall if we know of an event coming. But honestly, it's just as easy to hop over there and
Okay,
make sure it's good.
Just like I said, guys, this is one of the few that doesn't have any kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
Wasn't there talk at one point about the doors?
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess my question is, if it's gonna be utilized more, but doors are expensive. So what line would that be taken out of? Do we have that accounted for in here? Some sort, I know the paint was already bought, right, for painting the building at one point, there was that discussion as well?
No paint. Our guys are gonna spray wash it. It won't be painted, it's where.
The outside, but what about the inside? I thought there was paint
Yeah.
talked about for the
The
inside.
other board, before they got upset and left, they said there was paint. I have no idea where it's at. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
We should probably just chat about the Heinz Center maybe next meeting in May.
We could put a little more in the miscellaneous contract part. I think mostly if we do anything doors, that'll be grant funded. But yeah, we could put more in the miscellaneous for the doors. I'd be curious to see if we get it done, cause City Halls need to get done too.
City Hall. And I think, Kaufman Locksmith is back from Arizona.
Is that the one we were waiting on? We were waiting on
Yes, we
something.
can get him to come and do at least City Hall, or there are keys for the Heinz Center, I know.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
But we really need City Hall keys. Okay, Heinz Center, if there's a grant for that, do we still need to put some money in there?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
I would, yeah, I would suggest.
We could bump it to 5.
Which line? The maintenance one?
The maintenance line, repair maintenance?
Sure.
Miscellaneous contract,
Either way.
unclassified, move that up to 5,000, goes to 2,500.
Okay.
Miscellaneous one?
Okay.
Or the building maintenance repair?
Okay, or repair building maintenance, put it under the building repair maintenance for the.
Bump that one up to 5.
Okay, we'll leave the other one at 2,500 just
Right,
for
yeah.
giggles. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I can make that change.
Pool. This is an exciting one, right?
Right, Dave?
Well, a lot of the improvements this year are coming out of the current fiscal year budget, not the one we're deciding, correct?
Right, and that's what the TIF will be for, because we're taking it out of general fund right now, and then the TIF will put it back in general fund.
What other, I mean, as a goer, I know that there's many other projects, but what other projects do you foresee next year that we need to tackle there?
Well, I think all the lifeguard stands either need to be repaired or replaced.
The rails on the steps.
Rails on all the wood on the slide steps need to be replaced.
Are there any grants out there
20,000 in the ground, or in the building maintenance?
Probably both, yeah.
Does that seem like enough? 40?
But TIF will come in there too, though, so.
And this wages that's in here, is that just the
That's,
pool lifeguards and, Maddie?
that's raising Maddie to 5K. I guess we have not, that would be something we still have to discuss on that, because that's a different.
Isn't that in the wages one?
I did change it, yeah, it's on the very first page.
I think the park board voted on that already, didn't they?
I have the notes, I don't remember.
I remember.
I know it was on the agenda, I don't know,
I
I've never
remember
seen what
hearing
these
about it,
determined,
I
but-
think they did it.
I think they voted on the salary for the lifeguards too.
I think they
That,
did
the
too.
wages is already, yeah, buttoned down a little bit.
And I adjusted them in here.
Dewey,
Yes.
anything on that pool that you see that sticks out at you?
So you start pushing buttons, you don't know what's gonna work or what ain't gonna work,
I know.
so. Okay,
Good on the pool. Council Mayor, that one's not gonna change. City Hall. The car out here. I don't know, what year is that, how old is it, is it still in good shape, does it need anything?
The library is really the only one that takes it out of town. I haven't heard of anything, we keep the oil changed on it. Most of us would rather not sit in a sardine can, so it doesn't get driven much. And we've upgraded the meters to where we don't have anybody driving that around anymore, that's really what it was for, I think.
That having it there can just,
It's just sitting.
It's
Yeah,
just-
it's not hurting anything. Maybe in, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, we can, but for right now, it's not a.
are any of the police vehicles that we're going to get rid of, would it be better to keep one of them and get rid of the car?
No, they're in much worse shape.
Okay.
Most of them have been wrecked. 1, 2, 3, 5 times.
And we got the tort liability researched out that it's hundreds of,
Oh, it'll be more than that.
it would probably be, from what I've talked to, Stephanie, and it's
It's
tort,
Workman's comp.
well, do we, I mean, if it's gonna be more than 100, then should we
I
budget
have
for
not
it?
gone through and made sure that all the tort adds up the way that it should. I have not done that. I was gonna, that was on my list of things to do.
I bumped
have
it up,
gotten done.
I bumped it up from last year because I knew our policy would probably go up. Now, I don't even know the exact amount of our policy. I've seen one number, but it has not been split out between the hospital and everybody yet. So I don't know where that's gonna come.
And I do know, Stephanie rode around with you, and
Yep.
is it you, Dave, that she got, vehicles, updated all the vehicles for the
Yes.
ones that need to be on the insurance, the ones that need to be taken off, so there could be some flexibility in there.
We
This
went
is,
to all the properties and she took pictures, so she has a better idea and stuff like that, so.
and that number is probably gonna be good, depending on where we go with deductibles and.
Wouldn't that tort be divided out into all of those respective departments for that equipment though, or it wouldn't be under the city hall's tort entirely, correct?
But we take the biggest one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so last time we had 235, but then we said that it'd be closer to 100, but then now we're saying hundreds less than we think it's going to be, so do we need to put some more money back into that to cover if we think it's going
hard when we don't know where the insurance is gonna end up in.
Right.
So, I mean, we could say another 25,000, I mean,
If we have
Give or
another
take.
25,000 that we could put in there, it wouldn't hurt, even if it ended up to be a little bit of a cushion for some other things, cause,
I mean, we can always amend.
yes.
it always gets amended.
True, yeah, true.
We
But
can put 125.
it just seemed like when I asked that question, it was very easy, like, yeah, it's going to be more, so.
Yeah.
You know. Try to maybe save us a couple steps if we can, but yeah, it's not that big a deal, so.
Marked it this week.
Alright, City Hall's done, Armory is pretty much cut and dried in itself.
Question about the armory.
Yeah.
Is there keys to the building?
Yes, we have hundreds.
Or,
To the
Or-
Armory.
Well,
our renters probably have.
well, and that's like I was wondering, if we're talking about getting Kaufman's,
Yeah,
maybe we should change the locks on the armory, because there's hundreds of keys out there.
No, just for the front door, there's only 2 sets.
Okay,
it's everything inside, each room can be locked, and there's vaults and safes.
That's what she means by all the keys.
That's
okay,
by law.
just like I said, okay, so, because they've been, the people that have been using the building, if they go in and do it at all, they said they were going into a back door that's open.
That door's been open forever.
Yeah.
And they don't have a key,
They don't have keys.
they don't have any keys?
Our renters don't have.
No,
Our
They don't
renters
They
have
don't have
keys?
keys. And they say that they also don't have, just relaying a message, that they don't have a contract that says what is the city's responsibility, what is their responsibility, in case like a water line breaks inside.
well, they do have that.
There's your 2 garbage.
They said they don't. I'm just relaying a message.
I can send it to Tammy, I just talked
Okay.
to her yesterday, so.
Okay.
Yep.
If you would, please,
Yeah,
and that way,
yeah.
that way that,
Yeah.
because they said that they haven't been going in and out of the building, they said they know what they wanna do in there, but they said they don't really wanna go in there until they know exactly what their liability would be.
That
What
gives-
the city-
Important for them to be able to
Yes.
secure their
And-
equipment
and
properly.
just like I said, yeah.
Well,
you
they
can
don't have anything in there yet,
No.
that's why.
But no, I'm saying, when they take it, I mean, being someone who's
Just
rented
like you said,
areas
yeah.
before, usually it's even in the lease that you
So
have
when
the
does
ability
their
to
rent
change the
start?
lock.
Started last year, last fall, way late, like November or December.
And they don't have any keys?
No,
they
but
don't have-
unusual.
they don't have
they
anything
never
in
come and
there.
ask for them, though, either.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't
I
have
will.
anything in there, Christie.
Right, right, I know, but, I don't know, I guess.
I'm just, yeah, I'm just relaying messages, so,
Yeah.
open message.
But if they need or want keys, they can come get them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Armory's done? Snow. Anything we need to do with snow?
No,
For
we're
a
set.
finalized answer based on what we spent in the wages lines. If, when the guys go out and move snow, that money comes out of their respective department wages.
It does not come out of this, like, say, if they go out and move snow at night, it does not come out of the snow budget.
You have to be careful because you're talking road use funds or you're talking actual water, sewer, street funds. So street and snow come out of the same bucket, remember the bucket story? The 600 and the 610, they have their own bucket. So you don't mix all that. That all has to be kept separate. So if a street guy goes and plows, I can use snow. If a water guy goes and plows, I cannot. I should not, is what I should say, because there's a law that you're not supposed to use street money for. Road use money is the state's kind of picky on how you use that.
Well then, do our wages line up appropriately?
Honestly, most of the snowplow time goes comp. So,
Cooks comp?
Yep.
Motor vehicle maintenance, you've got $9,000 for that. Is there any equipment or vehicle maintenance that needs to be done on any of the snow moving vehicles? I'm just
not right now.
Okay.
Nothing I can think of.
So
Everything's in pretty
We're
good
sitting
shape.
we're sitting pretty good.
we could drop that down then.
No, I would say leave it.
if you look at motor vehicles, maintenance supplies, then you got repairs and maintenance and vehicles. Last year expended, if I'm looking at the current budget, there's 10 grand in there. So between those two line items, I would at least leave that in. I would actually bump that up some, because just because we didn't use it this year doesn't mean that next year might not. We've had a actually pretty decent winter. So.
And you never know what winter's gonna be.
But you guys, we've got money, we've got street money.
And then there's minor equipment too. It has nothing in it.
Minor equipment's hard when you get into snowing and snow plowing. Minor equipment's usually lawnmowers, weed whackers, you know, which snow you know. Shovels maybe.
So I assume salt comes out of street, not out of snow, correct?
All that comes from the county though, right? They,
But we got which budget does it come out of? It's used in the snow budget, but it's put on the street, so.
Yep.
They don't, I don't know.
yeah, those are tomato. Cause they're both 110. It's easy way to keep track.
Anything else on snow?
What do you wanna raise that 9 to, Dewey? Or anybody, sorry.
For 11 days.
20, 11.
Is that? No.
11's fine. Well, 11's fine.
Okay, I mean, if you think 15, if we need to go up, no, okay. I would say move the 9 to 11.
Okay.
I mean, you know, the equipment looks pretty good when you're down there in the shed, but you never know what's gonna break down either, so, or need to be repaired, so. I like to prepare for the worst and pray for the best, so.
Moving on, wastewater?
Just.
Any input, Tom?
Basically, I can see our biggest liability since we've redone the plant with new influent pumps. They kind of downsized us on those. So at this time of the year, depending on how much snow's on the ground and what our weather conditions are, without the stormwater pumps, we cannot take all the flow that the collection system will bring in. What our main problem from what we can tell is the box that the valves are in for our stormwater pumps. They freeze in the wintertime. And until they thaw out, our stormwater pond is basically unusable. To speed that process up, we do put a milk house heater in. So far, closest we've come is we got it broke loose a week before we got heavy rains or heavy flows. That's one item I think we really need to address, either insulating it, possibly putting an electric heater or something down there to where we can get that thawed out earlier in the winter or spring. Our second item that I would have to say is due to our condition of our collection system, we all know we're getting a lot of grit in. And the last time we ended up having 2 pumps go down due to grit. We had literally had to scoop the grit out of the sewer lines, and that accelerated our wear rate on our wear pad or ring, as well as the impeller. Okay, since COVID, that has really screwed up our getting parts in a realistic amount of time. We waited just pert near a year to get those back up.
Where's this grit? What is it? Where's
It's
it come
coming from the cracks and the bricks and all the tiles. And that particular year, it hadn't rained for a couple summers. And then all of a sudden, we got a huge flow. And once you get that initial flow, it washes everything down to you.
Yep.
And we literally had black sand we were pulling out of the pipes. We literally had to have a company come in with a vac jet, suck out the influent pump and try to suck it out of the lines as well as reach in and pull it out. I do know we, through USDA with a grant and so forth, we're looking at slip lining or whatever possibly. But 9 months wait time is unacceptable. I think we need to budget something if we're going to keep these pumps. Neither one of us are we're pretty disappointed in the pumps that we've got. They're horrendously expensive to fix. The wear pads aren't even hardened. We either need to consider getting something like through electric pump that is better suited, or we better stock some repair parts. We've had one armature go bad in one of the recirculation pumps. I think just the motor was $7,500. We went through electric pump. We did have it rebuilt in Cherokee, and I think that was around $3,000. But there again, our lead time was 16 weeks to get parts.
So is there a capital, there it is.
6720.
And I guess the next one I've got is Rosenberger's lift station. I know it is at least 30 years old. I don't know how long it's been here since when Dewey was here.
It's 30 years old when I got here, Tom.
But it has been cobbled together. We've kept it running. We're reaching the point we can't even find light bulbs to be able to put in for an alarm if one of the pumps quits and the level gets high. It's working now. We just got done with our lift station inspection today. Everything's looking pretty good, but again, they say that control panel is shot. We better be considering doing something with that. 5-6 years down the road, basically the sewer plants run on oxygen and biological life. Those blowers run 24/7. Hours wise, we service them around 3,000 hours. Book says 4, but for no more oil than it takes, we service them early. We're at about that 30,000 hour mark on some of those blowers. So when you start figuring out, probably in about 5 years, you're gonna have to start putting new packs on top of them. There's what, 7 of them back there? 3, yeah, 7 of them, and you're probably talking 60,000 each.
You said 5 to 6 years-ish?
Yeah. Now, granted, all of them don't have 30,000 hours on them, but you are going to start having some that need maintenance within the next 5 years.
We do have quotes for replacement packs.
And they're around the 60,000 mark, you said?
I'd have to look, I don't remember, but
I think that was in that neighborhood.
to do all
They
of
were
them.
up in the 50s.
So not being an expert in any of the other stuff that you listed off, what does that all look like as far as rough dollar amounts to plan for?
Million.
All of it summed up together?
Yeah, because you're not talking any labor and any of this stuff.
So stuff like the packs we can change, because it's just a unit you bolt the new one in. We do a lot of our own maintenance and pulling pumps and stuff, so. But they're at 30,000 hours and they're supposed to be rebuilt at 50,000.
Are the inflow pumps still 4-inch pumps now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But even like those, we had one rebuilt, number 2. The bearings sound like they're going out, but they're non-serviceable. It might run through the night, it might last 6 months, it might die a year from now. But we kinda need an emergency amount to where, hey, we need a pump, we need a motor, we need it today.
And if it's gonna cost you more than 65% to rebuild it and buy the new one with the warranty, you're better off buying.
But see, that's what electric pumps say, and they said they can replace them, I think was around 20 or 25,000 each. And they said, we can give you a way better influent pump than what you've got now.
And they got hardened seats and impellers so the
Yeah.
sand don't tear them apart. which we can't put on these pumps.
You have to be able to reach up in there with a feeler gauge to find out where your air, where's at. You can't.
You can't.
Been there.
On this new budget we have that's got 6331 and 6332 highlighted. What is that?
I've got it all together, and I think I already did,
Okay.
since I,
Merging those
since
lines.
I've printed, yeah. That's why, that was to remind me of those two.
And as far as the vehicle, our vehicle isn't in too bad a shape. We've had to do some repairs with it, shocks, brakes, tires. We do know the knuckles up front are starting to knock. We're not in any major need for it, but if and when,
That'd probably be.
we would rather have a half ton due to the fact of the fuel mileage going back and forth to the lab. And if we need a 3/4 ton, we can get one out of the street department. Where we would need that is basically for pulling the jet cleaner.
2-3 years.
Well, I'm just, in my guesstimation here, do we need to add more money to the capital reserve? So
guess-
that we can
That's where I'm going through, cause
at least maintain some of this stuff?
yeah, there seems like there's a few different lines that stuff like that could come out of, but
Yes, yes.
all of those lines seem pretty spot on with what they've expended year to date, so it's not like we're setting back any extra
Right.
money to plan for stuff, and it goes back to the conversations we've had, specifically with the fire and police department. We know certain things are on cycles that we should be able to break up that total amount that it's going to cost in a 6-year ordeal and plan for 60,000 each year to set back, so that when it's time to do it, your money's already there and you don't have to take a 6-figure chunk out of your budget.
So my question here would be on the sewer capital reserve, it says 42,000, should that be 100?
And so you have your,
You got other capital equipment, that's set at 25.
right, you have the capital reserve, there was, 1 or 2 more other lines that,
65.99, that one's always, that's got 30,000 in it.
yeah, miscellaneous.
Contract 64.99, there might be a little there, just depends on how much, the landfill station goes up this year, we don't know. Cause that's what that comes out of there. So we could do the sewer capital maybe to 80. Is that,
And so what does, we have a grant, correct?
The grant that I think that we're talking about, they were talking about earlier, that is just for slip lining.
That's just
That
covers
has-
the
that has-
that
that's
grant
in
is just
collection.
for the engineering part of that slip lining, it's not for the slip lining part yet.
Okay.
That part hasn't been financed and it won't be financed in this. That'll be through the state. Cause we're talking over 5 million on that.
I don't know, I just think that capital reserve needs to be higher myself.
Yeah, we gotta set some money back somewhere, wherever that is. I mean,
Wherever it is.
It'd be easier in reserve, cause I try not to mess with reserve. So if you wanna, that'd be the safest place where it wouldn't get, plucked if something big happened, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's already concerning that. So, current budget, like, this current year, we set back 85, but next year we're only setting back 42, but we just rattled off 2 million at least of money that we need to pay in the next handful of years. So I don't think we should cut that back for sure. If we and that's the next thing is, we keep adding money to this, but like,
Well,
I don't know where the overall goal is, like, it sounds good to keep throwing stuff in all of these different departments, and we want to, and we need to, but
we're playing
Don't.
catch up is what we're doing.
we don't unfortunately live in a monopoly money world.
I can tell you there is none.
Well, then
I think that 42 needs to go up.
was.
It has to be at least this year's, if not more.
That's
Well, I was
what
just
we
looking
do.
at, like say, like what Nicole said, our current budget says 85, and then if you go up, there's 25,000 in the other capital equipment, took that 25,000 and the 85, that took you over 100,000. It needs to be there. It needs to be at $100,000.
Yes, it needs to be at 100. That's just my opinion in that if we don't start setting some money aside, Tom's gonna come in here and just beat us over the head.
Big check to write at some point.
Well, when you call and wanna know why everybody's basements are flooded, I'm just gonna tell you.
Tom goes, I told ya.
No water, no electricity, that's an inconvenience. Sewer line, the basements are freaking.
All right, let's move on. How about streets? Anything there's,
Well, one of the questions I have in streets, what do we, like to say for our, like seal coating, patching, this and that, what line item does that come out of?
That usually comes out of street maintenance or $65.99.
Street maintenance, that'd be 6520,
Oh, I'm sorry, 67.61 is where that one comes out of.
6761.
It can come out of multiple places, but that's where I take it out. That 117,855 is blacktop services, and that was last year.
Okay.
but there's no money in that this year. Or for next year.
I have 125.
I have zero.
Mine doesn't show anything.
This is where, so last time we had a workshop, this
How do you
chatted
want that
about
building
too, cause
replaced in the
it looked like
asphalt?
6417 for year to date, we needed 120 in that line.
Do what?
And then for 6761, we talked about putting 100,000
Upper Des Moines is gonna have to cut into the street.
at least.
Once we affect the costs they got.
Okay, yes,
And you,
because,
yeah, you needed to move the
Yeah,
year to
I have
date
to move
over, correct?
yep. So,
Cause you want that filled with 3/8 minus 2, don't you?
So that 117, that would just be fixing the streets and stuff, that is not curb, gutter, any of that.
That 117 is what they've spent this current budget
That's
year.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Almost says you drive around, I drive around town, I see a lot of curb, gutter, there's a bunch on Main Street that has to be replaced because the city owns the curb on Main Street and they're broken up. The property owner owns behind the curb, so, yeah, like in front of his own, that all has to be replaced. And so, like I said, I'm thinking, again, I don't know where the money comes from, because I don't have a treasurer's report, but we would throw at least another $60,000-$80,000 into that.
We definitely need to start setting more money back for our streets in general, cause
Yeah.
they're a
We're
little
going to
rough
traffic
around here.
and basket.
We used to have some of the best streets around,
Mhm.
not so much anymore. We need to get some more funds for it. I'm not blaming any of you guys, I hope you know that, I just meant monetarily wise, we need a budget to be
That's
able
not how
for
we
you guys
took
to do that.
For you guys to be able to fix them. Upkeep.
comes from this,
So street maintenance, that can come from the state, you're saying?
anything 110 is road use. So anytime we get road use funds from the state, yes.
Do we have any idea what we will be getting from the state this year?
Not yet, we only know property tax, that's all we know, that's all we're budgeting is property tax.
When do they send you that number?
I
Or do
think
they?
they don't, it comes in monthly. So I can go back and see what we've brought in for the year, and we would know about where we'll be at, we'll never know exactly.
But this money, like we said, budgeting through property taxes, so this is like anything we would get from the state would be additional to what we're budgeting. Correct? Was that where I was following that
You
statement?
lost me.
You're saying what we're currently discussing and budgeting is how we utilize the property tax dollars,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
So we're not talking about street funds from the state, or this department, 110 can only be,
Can only be street money.
so
So is that money from property taxes, or is that only money from the
Overly
state?
from street, and we are staying within the bounds of that. As far as what we brought in last year. We're within it.
Can we can't set back any of our own city money for street use?
You can, if you want to, but you can't use property tax. So it would
But
have to be,
it could come from like our other revenue sources.
well, it depends, we have to pay for all our utilities, we have to pay for sewer, we have to pay for water.
Right.
There's not much, until we raise rates and sit back and get those accounts caught up, there's no general fund to just go swoop 100,000 into streets.
Understandable. It's hard to have that discussion when we don't know what those numbers entail. But what we're saying is, if streets needs more money, we gotta find a way to get them more money. That's the bottom line.
Right.
We have money in reserves, can we pull money out of reserves and put it into things like this?
Into the curb and gutter, cause there's curbs around
No,
town that are just.
but like I said, you know, and then that's back to the same thing as, that's why I would like the treasurer's report is that, I would like to know that, I'm gonna use a number of 6 million, okay? $6 million there, but 3.5 of it is spoken for other projects, upcoming projects, and now you don't really have 6 million in reserve, you only have 2.5 million in reserve. I mean, so,
And
I
you
would
need
like to know,
cushion.
I would like to, but I would like to know how much
Yeah.
money we have in reserve, not spoken for.
I think we're at a pivotal point as a city that there's a lot of towns around us that maybe wish they had as much as playroom as we do, and we need to make good investments to be able to have long-term payoff, that we're not seeing issues 5-10 years down the road because of things that we decided today.
And then this is just another one of those things that gets to me on this last page of that. Everything shows a negative or minus sign behind it. Does that mean we're in the hole or?
No.
Okay.
No, it means the account has an issue. It just means it's not set up right.
That is on
Page 2 of
on the
streets.
street, the very last thing, you know,
The difference
the
in
difference in the
proofs.
proof and all this, and that,
Yeah.
there's minuses behind all those numbers. So to
Yeah,
me,
it
a
just
minus
means,
means you're in
it's
the hole.
just the account. The account's got an issue with the way it's running through the system. We're not in the red. We're definitely not in the red, 376,000.
I'd like to take that.
So what was our final decision for recommendations for 6-7, 6-1?
I put
Six.
100.
You put an additional 100 in,
Yeah.
so it would be 217 then?
That's 100, it would be 100 flat.
What's that?
100,000 flat. That 117 is what's been spent this year.
Well, if you spend 117 and you're only budgeting 100, hey, that means you're $17,000 over what you spent this year. We're talking about improving stuff for next year.
Not necessarily, that's only on what we spent this last summer on streets, correct?
I understand that portion of it, but if we wanna do improvements, and we spent 117 last year, looking at the streets this year, we need to have more than 117 in there. That's how I run my budget. I don't know how anybody else runs theirs. but-
So, Nicole, right, 6417, which is still streets, it's on page 1 of streets. You wanted to put 120K there.
No, what we had said last meeting, the 6417, the year to date, that 120 from the year to date,
Okay.
6761 needed to be moved and taken out of the account
That's
on
what it
there.
was, okay, alright.
That's merely, yeah, that's just the year to date expended column, there's nothing with the new budget.
And that, Dewey, I hear what you're saying, but my problem is, like you said, we haven't got a treasurer's report, we don't know how much, but, you know, if you wanna go to 125,
I'm confused since, I think I asked this last time, but it doesn't look, at least for the last 2 years, and third year being this year included, that any money has been sent back for road improvement in any of these lines. Am I interpreting that correctly?
We've had a finance person do it the last 2 years, and this last 2 years, it was a finance guy then, so.
Capital equipment also, you know, 2 years ago or last year, whatever that, it's not doesn't line up very good, so.
But that,
284,000, but yet we're not putting anything back.
would that be the street sweeper?
Sweeper?
No. No, street sweeper is its own
Okay,
loan by itself.
so the capital equipment of 284,761,
Street repairs.
I have no idea, that was before my time, so
Okay.
that was in there.
but we don't have anything in there for capital. My thing is putting money away for, we're gonna need a new street sweeper. I don't, whether it comes out of there or not, I don't know, but, we're gonna need a new truck, we're gonna need a new something or other eventually.
I'll put a question mark there so I can research that 284 and see
Okay.
where and what, and
What that was
if
for.
it can move over.
Yeah.
Or there's anything to move over.
Or just,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't, capital equipment, that's capital money that needs to be set aside for something. And I think something needs to go in there. I don't know how much anybody wants to do, but
I'll go research this one, and that is it.
I have a hard time believing any finance person wouldn't set back at least some money
some
for
money, yeah.
road improvements, and that just seems to be a given that you have to do. I just don't know what line it comes out of to be able to put enough in there and
Right.
be reflective of what we need.
Well, and as we have said, this accounting system, wow.
It's a blast.
It's,
Tad
thought what I did was tough, but this one's tougher. All right, anything else on streets?
The last question, so we had the note last time was not all funds have been moved from the, lost the local state tax.
Yep.
And that's not a true picture just yet. I didn't know what.
That has to do
movements-
with the negative.
Oh, that's the name.
That's the negative part that the system needs to, yeah.
Okay.
Lost funds come in, but only when the state sends them, and it's not. I mean, yes, it's a good amount of money, we are lucky, but it's not like it's 150,000 or anything, you know, big that we can set back. Local option
so-
sales tax.
So does lost money, how do I wanna say, does it have to go into a specific revenue?
It has to be streets related.
Lost has to be streets, okay. All right, done with streets, now let's do electric. Is that why you're here tonight?
Sure.
That is Mr. Craig from West Bend.
Sorry, that's about almost the last thing we got going here, but
I have a pretty big list and not
Streets are on it.
not a lot of quotes.
So cool.
But you just want me to read through the list and you can ask me questions? Or how do you want to do it?
can we get a copy of your list by any chance?
I can
Or
make
do
one.
I have to write it down?
I can make one.
Yeah,
I just have it written on my folder right now. But I can make another list.
After this meeting, can we just get like all departments, what you see in the next 5 to 10 years that you're,
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what I have.
that'd be great.
Okay, let's go run through your list and we'll see where we're at.
So I've had a vac machine on for 3 or 4 years. Pretty much since the group started, we've had a vac machine on the list. I have a digger truck that would be through COPEG between the 3 utilities. And then we need some voltage regulator repairs in the substation. I have written down here, I've talked to Laura before about GIS maps. We have open concentric cable to replace in town that's went bad. The lights in Prairie Estates. And then I'm gonna borrow a line tracer from IAMU, and we need to go through all the primary wire and label that. And then I'm gonna borrow another line tracer from another utility to do all the secondary, so everything's labeled right. And that should help speed up outage times, which has been an issue lately. And then we have some cable to test. And then we can put the feed back to normal. Right now it's still not back to normal, but we're kind of letting things settle down before we try doing that because it might not work. And then we have just normal switch testing, meter testing, and I have wrote down too. I think we should do it. You guys brought up rates. We should do a rate study. I don't know when the last time that's been done. And then there will be I've talked to the engineers out at the hospital, so there'll be probably a new service this fall, early spring. And then I think I talked to Laura about the transformer line. I think you guys were talking about lowering that line item. I think that needs to be up probably $75,000 to $100,000.
Which line?
Feeder
Yeah.
line comes out from outside town and substation.
Because just a transformer for the hospital is probably going to be $45,000. So we'll have to if we have one in stock, we'll have to get one to replace so we have one in case one burns up.
So we can charge the hospital for that?
What,
Just kidding. Just
I don't think
kidding.
so.
what line was, what account?
What account, what line?
It was line 8206780.
So page 3, about 4.
I think that's where it was coming from.
That's got 30,000 in it on my sheet. So you're saying that needs to be how much?
You better,
I'd say 75 to 100,000.
I can't hear you.
75 to 100,000.
because their transformers are back 50,000.
Yeah,
They're probably 42 to 65 weeks lead time.
yeah.
We're still getting things that we ordered in 23.
And that's why
We don't even know why we ordered.
and that's why she's in the red this year on that, is because when they joined the group, there were still things ordered that came this year that I never ordered, that were ordered from 3-4 years ago. They just finally came in.
Gotcha.
And they don't usually bill until you receive them.
Is that under the miscellaneous, the 6599 then? Cause that's where we're doubled what was budgeted.
That's the one that says 200,000.
It can come out of either one, whichever one. Craig
No,
prefers.
she's right. It is 6599.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like that needs to stay at 200.
Because that last transformer that came in, the big one was 53. The little ones are like 22.5.
Hopefully they
Order
come down in price, but
3 years. So 200's okay over there, Craig?
just for
65.99.
You've spent 154 so far in this year budget of 75.
I don't think we need to put
But that's right.
that much because we were still getting things from the past. I called all the distributors. There's nothing on order on transformers that'll come in unless I order it. So
Okay,
and I have not ordered anything yet.
okay.
So
Kind of waiting on the hospital to see what they do
But if we
to get the
left-
right size.
If we left that at 200,000, that wouldn't be a problem, right?
No,
We
I
would
mean
have
there'll be plenty
We would have plenty to, anything that might come up.
because those switches, all the switches too. If one of those gets hit by a car, those are probably
Right.
25,000-30,000.
Right.
We only have one spare of those right now.
Okay, so we're gonna leave the 200, is that where we ended up?
I would say so, like I said, always plan for the worst and pray for the best.
And you're good with the 6,780 staying at 30 then?
Page 3.
He doesn't have it.
I mean, that could go up too.
What do
And
you want to go?
if we replace any 3-phase,
Yeah,
it's $5 a foot just for wire. That's not counting ducts. I mean,
150.
that doesn't go very far,
Unfortunately. it
right? But luckily with the group, if we run out of budget money for the year, we go to the other town and start working there too.
Should we at least just have it reflect what this year was with 40?
That's fine. If we
Yeah.
want to.
If something comes up and we have more, I can take it off the transformer line too. The digger truck's probably 3 years out. I'm still looking for a used one.
I guess, yeah, that's my question, because you guys mentioned at
We
the
should put
meeting.
at least, like you say, that current rate, our value is going to be probably, or the cost is gonna be $150,000 for the truck. So we should at least put back at least $50,000 or $60,000 every year, because you know nothing's gonna go down in price. And there's no reason to buy a truck that you don't want. I mean, it's not gonna do what you're gonna do. You might as well get what you want.
That's your 6910, Christine, that's where you
Yeah.
put that.
And I agree that capital reserve, we've got to get those numbers bumped up, or we are gonna be in the hole, we're gonna be
Right, because you
in a
mentioned
world of
that,
hurt.
you mentioned that back, okay?
Yep.
You already been approved to purchase that, correct?
I don't know if it was ever, I don't remember. I don't remember if it was actually approved or not, but we've talked about it for a long time.
No?
And that's went up, just in 3 years, that's went up $25,000.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say back the same thing.
A vac machine, what is it? What do you use it for?
Basically, you power wash around like a transformer, then it makes mud, and then you suck it up. And we use it for boring all the time,
Okay,
but if you drive around town, like I don't want to say everyone, but I bet 80% of the transformers we're gonna have to level. There's broken transformer bases, they're all sideways. So when the inspection, when the Iowa Utility Commission comes, they write us up on that stuff and we have to go fix it. And Clint's been working on that, and we have like 6 or 7 we're gonna try to do next week, probably.
So you suck up the
Mud.
water in the mud and
Yep.
the yuck, and then pack it and replace it.
Yeah, we go dump it, then bring in P-rock or
Gotcha.
something, level it out better.
Do we know the 6499, looks like it's pretty much 2x what it was budgeted for this year as well? What was that from?
So it went from 71.2 to 80.
Well, yeah,
but
what I'm saying is you
155%.
budgeted 71 this last year, but we've already spent 155 out of there this year. Is that
That's
something?
probably those transformers that came in that were 271 weeks behind. It's probably where those got paid out.
So then what came out of the 6599? So
6599 is that account that gets everything. So I can't tell you where I spent 154,000.
okay.
I think I tried to split them up between the two, that's probably why they're so close.
Okay.
155 and 154. We could still put some in this 6910 though, Christina, to take away from regular.
The 6910, the capital reserves,
Yes.
do we wanna go to at least 100? Do we wanna go to, I mean,
100, let's go to at least 100, I would say.
I would say at least 100.
Here's my thought process, and you can tell me if this is dumb. So we have 40 grand that you wanted to put into capital reserve. We know that the money we go into capital reserve is going to be untouchable. Do we want to put 40 into 6499? And if we don't use it, be able to transfer it over into capital improvement next year? But then we at least have access to the 40,000 if something should go wrong this year.
Good point. Yes.
So 120 on 6499, keep 200 at 6599, leave 6910 at
I
60.
will have to check, something is, I'm getting a red alarm in my head, I don't think we can do it that way, but we can put the 40. So we can put this at 120, put that one at 100, and then this one we're going to 40,
Wait, what at 100?
6910.
No, leave that at 60.
Oh,
If we can't touch the reserve capital.
I'd rather have the money, for electricity, I'd rather have it readily available to use, whatever we don't use this year, than stow away for
okay,
money in the future. Projects, and if you're right.
something is telling me, anyway, that's fine, okay. So 120 at 64.99, and then I've got 40 at 67.80. Is that right? And that's all we changed?
40 at 67. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright. I can do that.
Anything else on electric?
think so.
If you could, Craig, get us your list and an estimate on price, I know it'll be divided by the 3 communities, but, if we could.
Well, that'd just be, only the digger truck will be divided
Not everything
3 ways.
Okay, whatever,
Yep.
however, let us know that, if you could,
Okay.
so that we can, if not, get it in this year, start working on getting some stuff set aside so that we can get this taken care of.
That discussion wasn't had, but sewer, I think that goes for you as well. If we can
Right.
see all of the plans and know what the projects are and how prioritized they need to be, that way we can start setting back more respective funds to.
At least a list of
Drop
projects.
Yeah.
Drop pictures. Drop pictures.
Yeah.
Cause they don't understand it.
Just just basically
One
what
of
you
us does.
One day.
I was gonna say, we have at least one.
what
You're
you
saying use bright colors?
what you told us today, at least having it written down so that we can refer back to that document when we're looking at dollar signs.
We say, well, Tom said.
In the back machine, we use almost every single day in the spring, summer, all the way through fall. And right,
Do you have one?
well,
There is
so
one, but it's not in very good shape. And
That was my question. How good a shape is it in?
It's been presented and it was been budgeted for, and like I say, Greg says he thinks that it's been approved, so if it was up to me, I would tell him to go ahead and order the damn thing.
West Bend has one, so I don't know if you guys look at so when I do my monthly reports, on that spreadsheet I do, it gets charged out. So when I use West Bend's, it gets charged to Pocahontas, but we haven't ever sent bills yet, because I'm supposed to try to keep each utility about the same.
Right.
So it hasn't been an issue. The only time it's an issue is if the West Bend guys need it and we're boring somewhere, we can't. That's the only
Right.
time it's came up. Same thing though, if Pokey had one, it'd get billed out to West Bend or Grettinger if we were using it, if ours
Sure.
was, if West Bend's was tied up, but.
But that's where, to me, that it makes sense to invest in something like that. To invest in that upgrade.
So I think when they came originally and looked at the one Pocahontas has now, for trade-in, they were gonna do like 15,000, I think. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say,
just told
that
them
sounds
to
like
use it.
I think we use it way
That's
more.
right.
Yeah, we use it way more than you guys do.
Yeah, because we always use West Bend's, right?
If you don't have a piece of equipment, you can't use it, so.
Right,
And it's an
right.
important piece of equipment.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Alright,
We're underwater.
we're on to water.
H2O.
So a big one coming up, I just kinda thought about is the meters.
Yeah.
So we're having a big problem getting replacement meters now, cause our system's obsolete. And it's like a 15 to 20 year shelf life on the batteries, and of course it's right at that time right now, they're going bad. So in the next couple of years, you might just have to put a whole new system in.
Well, you sat there too long if you thought of that just now.
I did.
Can we do that in phases? You know, do south part of town and then
Not really,
it's just all or nothing?
it's kinda is.
Okay,
Your
And we're replacing them now as the batteries go bad, and I noticed in the last few months, it's getting more and more.
Your software's gotta match the meter.
And your software's gotta match the meters, and
We're still
So-
up over 100 that cause problems every single month, and it's because they're just.
we're replacing like
Don't work.
10 or less right now, but that could go up real fast.
And essentially, from my understanding, then these new meters that you're putting on is us just throwing money that we're gonna eventually have to replace again.
And so I gotta buy the ERT, which is the transmitter from one company, I gotta buy the meter head from a different company, and the meter itself from a different company, so it's kind of a
And
cobbled
the
up.
software,
it's a hodgepodge.
It is, and it's not real nice. It works, but our system is,
Do you have any ideas that you could present to us in the future on, what would work, what would be better, what kind of an investment does the town have to make?
Right.
And something like that.
Yeah, we'll figure something out on that. Cause it's, these guys wanna sell them back, so they'll come in and,
They visit,
yeah, they'll come in and visit with you.
I send them to you.
Maybe get a lunch out of the deal or something.
Nothing.
He didn't do that.
And, another thing is, I think you budgeted for that well one.
So that's gonna be 35,000, and we thought it was gonna be 10.
To abandon that.
Yeah, so you got, I put 32, but I think that's before we found out the 35.
In which
Have we
line?
notified the
69,
state yet that that's abandoned? Or shouldn't say abandoned, it's no longer in use.
Oh,
No, because that'll start the whole thing.
What?
I think that starts the whole process.
No, if it hasn't been used in 90 days, it has to be recorded.
Oh, I don't know.
4 years, 90 days, whatever.
What?
It's all wash.
I think I put 32 back when I thought it was gonna be less. So we could raise that.
And then it has to be done by a certified well plumber.
And Calhoun County comes over and inspects me on that 3 years.
So that kinda has me looking at the consultant line for 6407 because the last 2 years we've spent, or I guess we've budgeted 40 to 76,000 and we're only doing 20 and we know that we might have to utilize one, right?
No, it wouldn't be that kind, I mean, I don't think it's that kind of consultant. This is for like McClure and like our big project that we're doing now. That's why that was so high. Cause they started it and they changed engineers. And that's why that money, we lost 500,000 on that. Is that 6407?
Seems like they just redid water meters, not.
So if we, it's gonna be 35,000 and that will
06.
include all the inspections.
06.
Those people coming in and saying yes.
Since I was born.
So we could put it, I mean, we could put it in 6910.
So I think it took
This is one of those
3
things, you
years
could go
to
to
get them all done.
6780 again, you know, systems and structures. It's just wherever we wanna put it, and then that's where we would take it out. So you've got options, but you just have to.
If one of our wells would happen to go down like, well, 2, 3, or 4, where do you take that money out to get them replaced?
I would wipe out capital reserve, and I know we have, so each of the big ones, sewer, water, streets, garbage, everybody has a CD. Water and sewer have $500,000 CDs. Streets and garbage have 250,000, if it was something that drastic. But if not, we would let it go in the red, and then we'd have to make up the next year when we amend. But I mean, unless you wanna put some in there, and I'll just have to do some math and see where we come out. It'd be how much, Dave, if something went down? What'd you say, a lift station?
Not one of the wells,
Oh, well,
you know, one of the,
Well, we just did one. It was last year. I think was it 15 or 20,000? That was just to fix it though.
yeah. Do you have a maintenance schedule, like you pull a well every so many years? Have checked the pump and the casing or anything like that?
No, but well, 3 probably needs it done.
Do we think that the chemical line is high enough?
he does a wonderful job. He's saving us money left and right there. He's finding them cheaper.
Okay, cool.
That's why I dropped that one.
Okay. I'd say probably put it in, if we know that the well is gonna be 35. Put it in either, like you said, 6599 or 6910.
I look at 6599 that the this year we're gonna use it. 6910, I try not to touch.
That's what I'm thinking, same, along the same lines as electric, we know it's gonna be out of this budget, it might as well go in
In the
6599
line,
or
yeah.
whatever's left over,
Okay.
we can carry over then.
So what do you want me to put that up at then?
Well, they already spent 24,000 in that line.
That gets everything though, so if we're just gonna put one thing in at 35, we probably better go big.
We need to essentially add 35 more, in my mind.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
So 88 will go, or I'm sorry, 78 will go to 80.
Put 80.
Would it be 68?
Oh, shoot. I can't.
I mean, you can still go to 80, but I'm
No.
just.
Yeah.
The total would be 68, so.
Okay, well, I was just listening to the numbers, I was gonna say add more, because I hate to say it, but if I say show it,
I'll put it at
know where the
70.
money comes from, I don't.
I know, I'm just writing checks
No,
at
no,
this
yeah,
point.
well, I'll
See what you can cash, I guess.
See what counts. I don't know if you guys have more pages or.
I've
I
got
have
cemetery in
cemetery,
here yet.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to move that one up to 70.
70.
70,000.
That, yeah.
Just have to tell me which one.
I just got cemetery in here, we've got that at 6,000, is that gonna be enough?
Well, it probably depends on what we end up deciding to do with it.
Yes.
With the, yeah,
Which we haven't really decided, because if it's gonna be a part-time position, then that will come out of their respective departments' wages. But if it's gonna be something where we're kinda at crunch time and the cemetery needs mowed in a couple weeks, and we're just gonna do a contract again for this summer, then we probably need to look at what that looks like. Those are two different numbers, though, two different situations.
No, we've got that full-time position posted and part of that is gonna be mowing the cemetery, so.
have you got applications?
Yes, I've got 5. But Dave was gone last week getting his CPO, so. It did not move.
So, do we have 2 positions currently posted? We have a streets position and this new position?
Well, we have a street position
We have a
and we
street
have a
and
city
tile.
clerk.
We have a city clerk. Well, where's this new position coming in?
That's the streets. That'll be
That will be
streets,
replaced,
water,
it's kind of a cross between
just like we have.
the cemetery, doing the cemetery and Scott's position, supposedly.
So we're not we're not, Scott retiring, we're not directly refilling his role, we
We're adding to it.
did a different role, essentially.
I have a regional development, I guess I didn't print you guys that page, but this is where Mary Jo's money comes out of. 001-599-6210. I have it at 22,000, but she gets 13,375. I just happened to print that page, just because I knew that was a budget line.
Just glance at it real quick.
You asked for 17?
What?
When you came to a meeting a couple months ago,
Yeah,
I remember
I
17.
usually ask for around 17. We've kept it at 17 for a very long time. We haven't haven't asked for it, anymore. But, with housing, with increases and everything, it'd be great to up it a little bit because Pocahontas sees the bulk of economic development in what we do. But also understand restraints with budgeting. And so we will take whatever you guys are willing to give us to help.
And you said, can you read the numbers again as to what we have?
Yep. There's 22,000 in there.
Is what she's budgeting for the
That's
next
what I
year.
budgeted, and then last year we paid her 17,375. And that's been that amount for,
17,375.
17,375. And we have 22,000.
Okay.
I think leaving it at that 22,000, and then when we have a meeting where we make these final decisions, we'll make that decision at that time. I understand Mary Jo has done some awesome things for the whole county. little extra wouldn't hurt.
And nothing else comes out of this.
Right,
This is
right,
just
Mary Jo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just economic
I just want
development.
that.
Where did our chamber money come out of? Did we talk about?
Chamber is gonna come right out of general fund, because it's coming out of this budget right now. We have not got checks, but we will.
Alright, are we done?
Lisa?
That's all I got.
So we need to get this
We need to get
printed. We need to get our public notice, posted in the paper, social media, and website for the state.
And that has to be done by when?
It's Thursday.
Thursday I need to do the paper and social media website, but Friday, hard copies need to be available for pickup here and the library.
And we set the date for the 27th. We've already set that. And we have a meeting on the 20th,
20th is
next Monday.
when we need to. I've got Iowa League of Cities says we have to have the resolution
Yeah.
by the 20th, so.
That's just their, I think that's their, the suggested timeline.
Right, right, so,
I've got it on.
So we can do the resolution to accept, or to adopt the budget after the public hearing
right,
as part of that meeting.
Well, no, wait a minute, because the public hearing's the 27th.
Yeah.
So you're saying adopt the resolution on the 27th?
We can,
I'm-
yeah, we don't, I mean, that's up to other people besides just me. We can do it the 27th, or we can do it at our regular meetings when,
20th.
well, then we have to do it the 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
make. Okay.
Because it has to be adopted that night, so we can send it before the 3rd.
Right. Alright. Who's gonna motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second? Wes? All in favor?
Bye.
Adjourn.
Thank you, everybody.
Sounds like a mess moment.
Where do you guys want me to send my list?
Get all your
He said
pictures
it.
drawn or
I wrote it down.
Get some crayons.
Yours will make more sense.
I'll give you a bucket and tell you shit where
Here we
your
are.
budget is.
There you go.
Doing the